So we're going to take a look at a report from Headset about top cannabis products for the holidays. Cannabis sales seen increase during the holidays as consumers are shopping for gifts and others, as well as for themselves. So in order to get the most out of the holiday season, you need the right products on your shelves for the right quantities. Running out of popular products might force your customers to go to the competition and decrease your holiday sales. So we're going to take a look at top cannabis products sold in both Canada and the US during Christmas of 2019 and try to compare that as best as we can. Welcome back to The Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your cannabis business podcast. So to find out which product categories gain the most popularity during Christmas, it's helpful to compare Christmas sales to normal daily sales averages. So the largest increase was in capsules at 49.5% growth, and then oil at 40.8% growth. Within the oil category, sales of sativa grew 75% and sales of indica grew 66%. In the capsules category, hybrid sales grew 65% and sativa grew 54%. So these trends are likely to change with the introduction of Cannabis 2.0 products in Canada. So later on, we're going to talk about those sales in the US and include edibles and beverages and other Cannabis 2.0 products, which might help us to understand how these products can influence the sales of categories like oils and capsules in the Canadian market. So we're going to take a look at sales on Boxing Day. So when comparing Boxing Day sales to the average of the previous 4 weeks, you saw flower at 10.6% and pre-rolls at 5.5% with the largest category growth. So we can see that shopping behavior shifted quite a bit between Christmas and Boxing Day. So we can assume that from that, consumers were mostly shopping for cannabis gifts, while on Boxing Day, consumers were shopping mostly for themselves. So top products in the US, looking at category growth during Christmas, you can see that the week leading up to Christmas, all categories saw a positive lift in sales during Christmas, but topicals, 38%, had the most sales growth during Christmas, followed by edibles at 31% and then beverages at 26%. Topicals, beverages, and edibles, they've seen similar growth in previous years as well. And that could mean that consumers are buying Christmas gifts in these categories. So digging a little deeper within the topicals category, sales in the bath salts, soaks, and scrub segments grew 46%. The lotions, salves, gels, and cream segments grew 42%. And in the edibles category, the cookies segment grew 38%, while chocolates grew 37%. So beverages, mocktails, they grew 53%, and teas, coffees, hot cocoa grew at 42%. Popular US products during Christmas, you can keep an eye on last year's top performers. Make sure you have these similar products on your shelves for this year's demand. So California saw milk chocolate 100 milligrams as a top product in the chocolate segment across all US markets the week before Christmas last year. Colorado saw a 3-pack of bath bombs, the top selling topical product in the bath salt soak scrub category. And you can expect that those will fly off the shelves this year as people are purchasing these as gifts, maybe for themselves or for somebody else. And then with Oregon, we saw some lotions, a 500 milligram THC CBD as the best seller in the lotion, salves, gel, and cream segment the week before Christmas. Whereas Nevada, they saw some chocolate chip brownie cookie squares, 100 milligrams is the top selling product in the cookie segment. Nevada, the week leading up for Christmas. And then Washington, we saw some mocha coffee, a 10 milligram, ranked 13th in the tea, coffee, hot cocoa segment across US markets in Washington. Now, just to clarify, that's not grab and go coffee. This is either in a packet or this is a K-cup. This is not grab and go coffee. We just don't have that in Washington. So Fairwinds Catapult Mocha Coffee is going to be something similar to, like I said, K-cup or a packet of hot cocoa. So shifting over to understanding the holiday consumer and what consumers are doing, you can see US market share by demographic group. So millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers contributed the most cannabis sales in December of last year and continued to do so last month in October of 2020. You can also see a clear trend with Gen Z and millennials increasing their market share over the previous 10 months. And part of that is due to the fact that more Gen Z consumers are aging into the market while the silent generation is aging out of the market, decreasing their market share. And it also could indicate that younger consumers have been more readily able to return to dispensaries during the pandemic than older generations. So moving on to the growth in average daily sales during Christmas of 2019, you can see that the female Gen Z, millennials, and Gen X groups all shop significantly more during holidays the week leading up to Christmas as they had in the previous 4 weeks, indicating that they may have been more likely to shop for gifts at a dispensary. It could also be that there's some deals as well. So Gen Z females stand out as the leader on the graph, meaning that they may be the giftiest demographic group in cannabis. It's also notable that Gen X males were the only male demographic group to break 20% growth, although males in the silent generation came in a close second at 19.6%. So sales growth by category during Christmas 2019, there's a trend that we can see every year. It continues with topicals, edibles, beverages performing best around the holidays. Vape pens and tinctures also beat out the total market growth with an increase in almost 17%, while pre-rolls, flower, and concentrates and capsules particularly underperform relative to the total market. So it tells us to closely monitor topicals and edibles and beverages leading up to the shopping season to ensure that as the most popular products, they don't sell out. Meanwhile, vape pens and tinctures should be ordered in the amounts slightly larger than usual, so we don't need to worry too much about running out of those remaining categories. Looking at category growth and average daily sales by gender, you can see that the average daily sales by gender in the three categories that performed the best during the week of Christmas 2019, both males and females responded similarly in their beverage and edible purchase leading up to Christmas, but males customers bought significantly more topical than the average female. So this is great information for marketing teams to show where to focus their marketing efforts for topicals. And looking at this, you can see that marketers need to understand that they need to build marketing strategies to attract even more males to their stores to purchase topicals in an effort to draw consumers away from other retailers. So category growth in average daily sales by age group. Looking at a growth in average daily sales by age group for each of the following three categories during the week before Christmas, both topicals and edibles. It's pretty clear what the trend is. The younger the customer, the greater the increase in spend on the products in the week leading up to Christmas. Beverage sales for this tend to extend, with some exceptions of the silent generation who increased their average daily spend on beverages by more than 50% last Christmas. So the portion of sales by age group, you can see that total Christmas week sales going to each group on each of the days of the week. So it appears that the majority of the last minute Christmas shopping took place on Monday, especially with the youngest generation. It also deviates from a common trend that we see for Mondays, which typically is the slowest day of the week for the cannabis industry. Although anything goes post-pandemic, everything is changing. But Friday, December 20th, saw the largest population of sales for millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers, the three groups who combined make up a significant majority of cannabis consumers. So we can expect some similar trends this year with strong sales on both the weekend before Christmas as well as the 23rd. So average basket growth by demographic group. You can look at the basket size for each demographic group during Christmas 2019 compared to the previous 4 weeks. Basket size increased across all demographic groups, even slightly with the silent generation males during the week leading up to Christmas. In general, younger consumers had smaller baskets than older counterparts, both before and during Christmas. However, they also had the largest relative increase in basket size, especially Gen Z females with 15% larger baskets on average during Christmas week. It's also important to note that in every age group except for baby boomers, female customers saw a greater increase in basket size than their male counterparts. So looking at the largest and smallest average baskets during the week leading up to Christmas, the silent generation females outperformed the rest at $68.96 per transaction, while Generation Z males spent the least at $46.17 per transaction on average. So the average discount growth by demographic group shows the average discount growth for each group during the week of Christmas compared to previous 4 weeks. So it's almost all demographic groups except millennial males and Gen Z females enjoyed higher discount rates during the week before Christmas. Millennial males had one of the highest average discount rates in the preceding 4 weeks, had a significant 16% decrease in average discount rate during Christmas. Gen Z females were the only other demographic to experience a relative decrease in average discount rate of 3.2%. Meanwhile, the silent generation males seem to be the most hungry for deals, looking at an average discount rate of 5.8%. So a lot can be learned by looking back at the consumer behavior during the last holiday season. We can now expect that younger consumers are going to contribute even more during the 2020 holiday season because we understand that more Gen Z customers are aging into the market and older generations are likely more apprehensive to visit a store during the pandemic. Younger female consumers, especially in the Gen Z age group, had their largest increase in spend during the week before Christmas last year across a variety of metrics. So cannabis operators should also expect to see edibles, topicals, beverages perform particularly well around the holiday season, just as in every other past year. So with our analysis, they also know that the growth in edibles and topicals will likely be driven by younger consumers, whereas beverages are popular with all age groups around the holidays and particularly among the silent generation. So with these insights, brands can better plan their product development strategy for the holiday season and make sure their products are on the store shelves to meet the holiday demand. And don't forget to leave out cookies and milk for Santa Snoop. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.